I've signed up to Hyrox Hamburg in 6 months. I'm not an athlete, I have a full-time job, I also have a chronic illness, but I'm gonna do it. And today we're gonna talk about what Hyrox is, what are the rules, and what is my game plan, because we're gonna do this together over the next 6 months. Welcome back to the Chronic Health Diaries. My name is Ellie and I make videos all around how to feel your best self with food and fitness, even if you have a chronic illness. And today we're talking Hyrox and what Hyrox is, what are the rules, what are my plans for the next 6 months, how am I going to manage it with a full-time job, am I going to change my nutrition, have I got any weight goals, all of that, we're going to go over it super quick today. So let's start with what Hyrox is, because I'm sure you're seeing it everywhere and I feel like it's not always clear what the race actually is. So Hyrox themselves describe them as a premium functional fitness competition designed for everybody, not just elite athletes. And this is why I was drawn to Hyrox. So I'm not unfit, like I really enjoy health and fitness. I like running, I like strength training in the gym, but this is a new level of fitness, but I love that it's literally for anyone. If you are someone that really loves the gym but maybe doesn't want to do like hardcore weightlifting, or you're a runner but a marathon feels maybe a bit far, or you're just really enjoying hybriding, Hyrox is such a good option. And compared to something like CrossFit where you've got to learn very new movements and have to go to a CrossFit specific gym, Hyrox's movements you've probably already done in the gym. It's just a crazy combination of running and gym movement. So the format is 8 functional fitness stations with 1 kilometre of running in between. I'm going to go through each station, and also when I read the rule books, what were kind of the key call out rules that I want to be aware of when I'm training. So for Hyrox, there are multiple options in how you can do it. So the categories are women's singles, men's singles, women's doubles, men's doubles, and then women and men doubles, like mixed basically. And there are different categories, so there are like the Hyrox that everyone can enter, the one that I'm doing, and then you get up to the championships, which is like qualifying only. So for the Hyrox in Hamburg, I am doing women's doubles. So you start with a 1 kilometre run. Now I am doing Hyrox doubles with a friend from home. So if you're doing doubles, an important thing to know about the run is that you have to run together. If at any point one of you gets too far away from the other, or one of you enters the station way before the other one, you get up to a 3-minute fine, which is a lot in Hyrox time. For like ballpark, I'd like to do it in like 1 hour 20 maybe, I don't know, who knows, we'll see how the training goes. And the first station is a ski erg for 1,000 meters. So you've probably seen people going at this in the gym. Unfortunately, I don't have one of these in my gym, so for training purposes, I'm using the assault bike, but I'll put some footage here of when I was in a different gym and what a ski erg looked like. The key rule here, if you're doing doubles, is that you can't pass the handles to each other when you are switching activities. So you have to let the handles go right back to the top and then the other person switches in. So after the ski erg, you have another kilometre run, and then you're onto the sled push. And for the sled push, it's 4 lots of 12.5 meters of pushing that sled across the start and finish line. So for my category, I have to push 102 kilograms. For reference, I am ballpark about 58 kilograms, so that is nearly double my body weight. And as you can probably see from the video when I tried this exercise, I'm not quick. That's a lot of weight. That is definitely going to be the one that I struggle with the most and have to really think about my training for. After that, it's into another kilometre run, and then you're onto the sled pull. So same sled, except this time it's got a rope attached to it and you are pulling it. Again, it's 4 lots of 12.5 meters, 78 kilograms. So the key rule that I saw for this is that A, you have to be on your feet, so you couldn't go onto your knees and pull. And also you have a box that you have to stay in. But because I'm doing doubles, all the weights you're hearing, or all the lengths you're hearing, I'm doing half of. So for example, when it's 4 times 12.5 meters, I'll probably do around 2 lots of those 12.5 meters. But when you're not running, when you're on a functional fitness station, if you're doing doubles, you can choose how you split it. So for example, if I was feeling really, really good and my friend was totally gassed out, I could literally do the whole station in theory. Not gonna do that, Hannah, don't make me do that. Okay, then it's another kilometre run, and then it's into our burpee broad jump. So you're probably already familiar with burpees. I feel like it's the exercise everyone just remembers when they were like the 2012 fitness videos, and that's what you were doing at home. We've got to do them for 80 metres, and it's a little bit different to a burpee in a sense that a burpee you tend to be static. However, you are having to get over this 80-metre length with burpee broad jumps. So you'll see the movement that I am doing here. So you do your burpee, get up, then do a squat jump, and essentially you want to jump as far as you can in that squat jump because that's what's going to help you cover the distance. So the key rules for this one are that when you are at an upright position and you go to put your hands to the floor to form the burpee movement, your hands need to be at maximum 1 hand width away from your feet. So you're putting your hands really near to your feet, because otherwise, if you think about it, when you're in that upright position, you could put your hands as far out in front of you so that you're covering more of that distance, if that makes sense. And the other one is your chest has to touch the floor at the bottom of the movement. Then it's on to another kilometre run, by which point I think I'll be feeling seriously tired. Then it's onto the rowing, and this is the one that I think won't feel like a rest, but to me is one of the lesser intense stations. And it's rowing for just 1,000 metres. In terms of resistance levels on the rower, for women, it's 5, for men, it's 6. Another kilometre run, and then it's on to the kettlebell farmer's carry. So this is where you have 2 kettlebells in each hand. The video that you're probably seeing now, I've just got plates just because that's what was available in the gym. It will be kettlebells on the day, and I am doing 2 lots of 16 kilograms. So I'll have 16 kilograms in each hand for my weight category. So obviously I'm doing doubles, so at some points I'm going to put them down on the floor to swap. The key rule in doubles is that wherever you put the weights down, they're picked up from that same place. So you can't kind of like hand them to your doubles person. If you're competing in singles, you can put the kettlebells down on the floor at any time, again, as long as you pick them up from the right place. So in terms of distance for the kettlebell carry, it's 200 meters. That is half a running track. It's a long way. Then it's another kilometre run. And then it's on to the sandbag lunges. So this is one that kind of threw me when it came to the rules a little bit. So at any point, if that sandbag touches the floor, you are done. So basically the rule book says if the sandbag comes off your shoulder, so I guess you could still be holding it off your shoulder at any point during the movement, it is a 10-metre fine. If it happens once, if it happens twice, you are disqualified. Now, obviously for doubles, you need to be switching the sandbag between when you're like sharing out the exercise. So obviously it's fine when it comes off your shoulders then, but you have to pass it either sideways or backwards. You can't pass the sandbag forwards. These things sound like really picky, but I think when I'm really tired, A, they're going to be easy to forget, but B, they're going to be so frustrating to get a time penalty or a distance penalty when you are just so tired and want to get it done. When it comes to the movement, it's just your regular walking lunges with the sandbag on your shoulder, but your knee must touch the floor on every rep, or you get a no rep and have to go back and essentially do that one again. So for the sandbag lunge, it's 100 meters and a 10 kilogram sandbag on your back. So the weight doesn't sound too bad, but when you incorporate the fact that your knee has to touch the floor, it's quite a tough movement. Then it's on to the final 1 kilometer run and then the final station, which is wall balls. So again, slightly annoying in my gym, I don't have like a big square thing that you're supposed to aim for, because the movement is you do a squat and then you throw the ball up in the air and then you have to hit a target and then the ball rebounds off the target, you catch it, you go into your squat again. So in the video, I'm just throwing it in the air. So in terms of weight, it's a 4 kilogram ball and you've got to do 75 reps. The key rule with this one is that when you're in your squat, your bum has to get to that 90-degree angle. So you've got to do a proper deep squat. Okay, so that's what Hyrox is, but what's my plan? So I want to be honest with where my fitness levels are, because I want to bring you along on this journey, because I can find a lot of content on YouTube for Hyrox of athletes doing Hyrox, but like not the normal people who are fitting it around a full-time job. And then I also have to think about my chronic health condition, which also provides a lot of fun. So in terms of fitness, I'm fairly fit. I'm currently training for a half marathon in June. I strength train about 3 times a week. But let me tell you, I when I try and do these movements at the moment, they are so hard. It's not really the kind of gym training that I've ever done before. It's a massive endurance event, right? It's a lot of running with a lot of weight in between. So it's so different for me. I'm gonna have to really change my training. So how am I gonna change my training? So as I said, I've got a half marathon in June, and that is my priority at the moment. I've only ever run one half marathon in the past, and it was a good experience, but I'd like to run this one slightly quicker. And for reference, I don't want to sound like I'm some good runner already. Like, I'm fine, but I mean, I'm talking like over 2 hours for my running, just for context. So until June, that is my primary aim, is just making sure my running's really good, which is going to help me for Hyrox because there is a lot of running. After that race in June, I'm really going to go more Hyrox specific. And when I say that, I think more kind of high intensity, but also endurance workouts. What that looks like right now, I can't tell you. I don't know. I know from watching other people's journeys, I need to start getting in some more double days. So my body is just used to that kind of load because it's a lot. And a lot of people's advice for Hyrox is train, you know, when you're getting nearer to the day, be at your point in training where you can lift over the weights, practice with heavier weights, because then when it comes to the day, hopefully it won't feel as brutal, or when you're really pushing, you're just more focusing on doing the movements quicker and the weight feels more comfortable. So that's in the back of my mind. I am really lucky my partner works in sport, so I have someone who can help me on this journey, a professional. I'm also trying to get my personal training qualification at the moment, so whenever I take you on the journey or give you advice, I'm never gonna recommend something if it's not soundly thought through and done alongside a professional, because otherwise I'll get injured, you'll get injured, it'll be a bad time. How I think it's gonna affect me. So I actually did do a body analysis, weight situation, weigh-in, whatever you want to call it, a few weeks ago. I try not to track my body weight because for me it's just not mentally the healthiest thing to do. I normally try and track my muscle and my fat mass. In terms of my predictions, so I did the measurements so that I can kind of just see how my body changes, because I'm intrigued. I've never trained like this. If I have to predict something, I think I'm probably going to put on weight, because you need a lot of muscle. Like, you need to be strong to do these. And I'm here for it. I want to be an absolute weapon at the end. So I thought it would be interesting just to kind of show you how my body is fluctuating with the training. In terms of food and stuff, I think, especially around a double day, I'm gonna be eating more food because I wanna make sure that I'm fueling my body. I wanna make sure I at least maintain my current muscle mass. Ideally, I would increase it. So I'm really prioritizing protein and just actually making sure I'm eating enough if I'm gonna be doing crazy long workouts and doing things like simple things like prioritizing carbs if I'm going on a long run or doing a really long, intense workout. I am fitting this in around a full-time job. So I've done a few double days leading up to this, and the way I'm fitting it in at the moment is I'll do my run before work at home and then I'll gym at lunch or I'll gym after work. But it's gonna be tough. I think I'm gonna really have to utilize the weekends, but I really want to show you that whole process because the whole point is Hyrox is for anyone. So I want to show that you can make it work regardless of where your fitness currently is and any kind of lifestyle things you've got going on. Also, Hyrox is such a great opportunity just to see a different part of the UK or the world. So there are loads of different events. I've chosen to do Hamburg because I've never been to Hamburg and I fancied a holiday. I feel like it's a really nice motivator to think I've got this big fitness goal, but also I've coupled it with a really nice holiday to look forward to. Another added complexity is the person that I am doing this doubles with lives in London and I live in the West Midlands, so we're about 3 hours away. But from what I've seen, you very much can train for Hyrox doubles when you're not right with the person. You just need to be with them enough to make sure that your speeds are kind of matching up, you practice the transitions and just how it is exercising with each other. So our plan is once a month, we're gonna train together, and in between, we're just gonna check in and make sure our training styles are kind of similar, so we're pushing for the same goals. That's my very rambly overview of what Hyrox is, where I'm at, and what my plan is. Now, I know I probably didn't give you any specifics in terms of what my training plan is definitely gonna look like, but that's because I don't know yet. I want to document my journey of working this out because I don't think there's a load of information there. I've looked at apps, I'm not really sure how I feel about them yet, so I'm working it out and I'm gonna bring you on the journey whilst I work it out. I also know that I'm fortunate that I do already feel really comfortable in the gym, so I want to make sure that I'm showing you how to set up movements. For example, how to set up a rope sled pull in a gym. I'm going to show you those things. So I hope you want to join this journey. I'm excited and I am really nervous, but it's going to be a fun 6 months. I'm going to document it similarly to my journey to a half marathon, which I've got on my Instagram and my TikTok, so go follow them if you're not already. But I'm going to keep Hyrox on YouTube because I think just that longer form, more in-depth content is what I think would be really helpful, given I've seen what's on YouTube at the moment and I think there's not actually loads of information about it. So I hope that I can help you with that. I hope you have a great week and I will see you very soon for my next video.